Louis, the trouble looking at amplifiers for DJs.
Hello, it's been a busy couple of days. Well, I've had one day off and went out for a meal and some drinks, and then I've been busy just in the other unit, putting up some shelves and sorting a few things out. I did ask you if you wanted us to film us repairing this wonderful Carlsberg 500 amplifier. I'm laughing because I'm calling it wonderful. And you said, yeah, please, something a bit different. I'd like you to repair it. So we started to repair it, but within 30 seconds of plugging it in...
They were very non-technical.
Yes, turns out doesn't need repairing at all. It's absolutely fine. I've had it on test in the other unit for the last couple of days, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I have got in contact with the guy that gave it to us just in case he wanted it back, because I'm kind of worried that he's gone out and bought a brand new amplifier and he's going to have the same problem. So it's obviously his wiring up and his connection somewhere. I think they use it in a gym. But he was adamant that he didn't want it back, so we'll just keep it on standby and use it for something. So sorry I can't offer you a repair on this, but I can let you have a little sneaky peek inside if it tickles your fancy. Anyway, next in line was this, well, I wouldn't class it as being a really old LG TV. It's probably about 8 or 9 years. It's an LG LED TV, but as you can see, all the lenses have fallen off. But the backlights don't look blue, so the LEDs haven't turned blue, or at least I don't think they have. They all seem pretty white to the naked eye. The camera's making them look a bit blue, but it always does. So I decided it'd be a good idea for the channel because my number one rule, and it will always be my number one rule when it comes to lenses falling off, is just to stick on a brand new set of backlights. But for some particular reason, the backlights for this are pretty expensive. And I don't want to say pretty expensive. You're looking at £20 from China, which is a bit weird. I was expecting them to be between £5 and £10, but hey-ho. So I decided to get the glue out, and my plan was to stick every single lens back on. It was a nice sunny day. I was in the other workshop and I could have the door open and say hello to a few people. So I decided that's what I was going to do. So I started dismantling the TV, thinking to myself it would only take probably an hour at best, and I could leave the glue to dry and go and have a cup of coffee, come back, and then that's it, job done. Just bear in mind that this is not a smart TV. It's just, I hate calling them bog standards because this is actually a nice TV. It's got a full HD tuner in there, so you know it doesn't warrant sticking it down the recycling centre. So I get all the glue ready and then I switch on and suddenly realise this. Now the camera is hiding some of the facts. The camera is making it look like whole strips are out. But that's not the problem. But there are about 4, maybe 5. There's one, and that one there that just aren't lighting up. So it's pointless sticking the lenses back on. It's just not going to work. So I've had to order a set of backlights for this because I haven't got them in stock. So the last couple of days not been that productive. Okay. So we've got this to do for a customer, and I thought this would be quite interesting, as they say. The reason I thought this would be quite interesting, it's only a Vestel 32, but let me show you the model number and see if it means anything to you. It is a bit of a vintage now, I have to say. In the days when there was a Toshiba factory at 23 Davy Road, Plymouth. It's not there anymore. It was there for years and gave lots of people in the area steady work, but they never built these TVs there. They stuck them on the label, but these TVs weren't there. By the time that this TV was made, these were being made, well, it tells you at the bottom, made in South Korea, and then of course Turkey. But anyway, this was, sorry, I'm shaking the camera here. Why am I shaking the camera? Because it's a Friday night. That's why I'm shaking the camera. This was Vestel under the guise of Toshiba, as you noticed. Very first 32-inch smart TV. I'm going to guess a date and then we'll have a look. but I reckon this has got to be 12 years old now, maybe 14. So I'm going to say that this is 2013. And I promised I haven't looked. I might need to put my glasses on. Crikey, I can't see. Okay. I was close. It's 2015, so it's 10 years old. And somebody would like me to get this up and running. I mean, it's not the base model. The basic model wasn't even smart. But of course, this technically is not smart anymore. It won't have any of the apps. I've just changed the lighting a bit. Hopefully that helps. Yes, this won't have any of the apps. They would have all completely disappeared, but it would be a Wi-Fi one, and not that that makes any difference now. But it hasn't got a built-in DVD player, so it's not the bog standard, even though technically it is now because it's not a smart player. But they made 3 different versions of this. A real bog standard, which was just a standard definition tuner, no DVD, no smart. Then they made another one which had got a high definition tuner, and it was smart. This is the one. And then they made another one which has got a built-in DVD player, and you can tell the difference because next to the number 32, which obviously means it's a 32-inch, if it's a W, hasn't got a DVD player. If it's D, it's got a DVD player. This one hasn't. And I think this is just a backlight job. Oops. Ooh, camera's swinging around. I think this needs a new set of LEDs in it. So let me plug it in and see what it does. Do we even get a green and red? Yeah, we do. You can't see it, but we do. Do we get a flicker of anything? Oops. Let me go to the little nodule. Oh, this one would have had buttons, wouldn't it? Here we go. It's coming out of standby. Do we get a little flash? Yeah. Got a little flash. I'm just checking actually because there were 2 versions of this made. One was ending DB and one was ending just B. The one that ends just B was the far superior one, which has got a Samsung screen inside. Still made by Vestel, but also if it's got a DB at the end, it just means it is the bog standard Vestel. So where's the model number? It's up there. And as you can see, it's got DB at the end. So yes, this is just the Vestel one, which is just as well because I've got the backlights of these. I've got loads of them. I haven't got any for the Samsung one. Just don't see the Samsung ones anymore, amazingly enough. We will, of course, check the backlights. I always do, but there's a chance that they're all going to light up, as they tended to do on the 32-inch. When you test them with your test meter, that is, they all light up. So it's a bit of a faff trying to find out which ones have gone faulty. But why would you want to do that anyway? So let's just put new strips in. I mean, because this has got a Freeview HD tuner, there is no reason in the world why we shouldn't keep it going. It'll still be a great TV. I know you can find these sort of things on Marketplace for tuppence these days, but they're tuppence because they will still have old backlights in. They never lasted very long, the backlights. So I'm surprised at 10 years old where it could be on its second, it could be on its third set of backlights. I don't think so. But I've got no idea where it came from. I think it was gifted to me some time ago, but people still want them. People will get in contact with me and say, have you got a basic 32 inch? I don't want anything fancy, just want a 32 inch. And because this has got a stand and it's still got its remote control, and it definitely isn't anything fancy, we'll keep it going. I always like to keep them going anyway. I don't like to see anything get thrown in the recycling centre. That seems to be all the screws, apart from, of course, the ones that I've left in. Always forget the main board screws here. So it's taken a lot longer than I anticipated it to be, moving into that other workshop. I mean, I've got this one sorted out now, but I will still use the other workshop because actually it's got more space and it's a better workshop to work in. Have I left a screw in somewhere? Yes, felt like it. But it's only going to be good enough to work in the summer. I would imagine come November, December, it's going to be freezing in there, and there's going to be wires attached on this. Just give me a second. Speaker wire, the switch wire, and also the Wi-Fi. And there it is, screwed to the back, look, the Wi-Fi. Bound to be a bit dusty because of its age. It was a bit dirtier than I thought it would be. But hey ho. Backlight strips for these are very cheap. I tend to buy them in at 20 strips at a time. And they work out at £2 per strip. There's only 2 strips in here, so for £4, this TV hopefully will be as good as it can be. I'm going to disconnect the backlights because we'll do some testing. Got some old caps in there, but it's 10 years old, so there will be old caps, I suppose. That can stay there. Picture quality on these was fine. It was okay. As I say, this will have a Freeview, I think it's called DVB2 tuner in. But the other one, the Samsung screen, the one that ends with a B at the end rather than a DB, the panel, the screen was far superior. The picture was superior, but they had a lot more backlights in, and it was more evenly lit. I haven't seen many of those for ages. They're the ones that had the LED driver tucked away at the bottom of the screen, if you remember. We did loads of them years ago. Loads. It's got a bit of dust. Shame it's not the one with a built-in DVD player, even though, well, we used to say the built-in DVD players were useless because they didn't last very long, which is quite true on some occasions, but you still have people using them 10 years later with DVD working, so, you know. That's strange, that corner is not coming off. Why would one corner being awkward? gave the stand a clean earlier and some of the cleaning fluids got onto the screen. Not that I think it'll make a problem, or cause a problem I should say, but I'll keep it clean anyway. Yes, this has still got the original Vestel tape on from 10 years ago. Just think it was somebody's job just to stick bits of tape on these TVs. Big bits of tape here, look. Okay, so testing the old backlights, bottom strip or the top strip as I look at it, that all seems to be fine and every one of them is still working, which is pretty impressive after 10 years. But it looks like the fault is on the other strip here, but only one that's gone. You can see the third one from the right. That's the one that's stopping the TV from lighting up the picture. But, you know, for a 10-year-old TV, that's quite impressive that it's lasted this long, but, you know, this TV probably had a good life. It may have only been used 2 or 3 hours a day, because, as I say, normally these burnt out and disappeared very quickly. But a cheap set of 2 new strips being stuck in, and it'll be as good as new for quite some time. So reassembling the TV and just checking out the picture quality, and the picture quality is absolutely fine. I'm not using the proper remote control here, so I can't adjust any of the main settings like the colour and the brightness, etc. But it gives me the volume, it gives me a picture, and it tells me there's no lines on the screen, so it means, you know, the half hour, 45 minutes I've spent trying to do something with this TV was not in vain. And it still works, and it's going to be okay. And as I say, somebody will ask me for one of these TVs in the next couple of weeks. Somebody will say, oh, you don't suppose you've got a box standard 32-inch that I can just hang on the wall? Oh, this one's got the stand, actually, which is always an added bonus. So even though I've put a brand new set of backlights in, it won't go to waste. Anyway, I'm doing a little voiceover here because my microphone packed up about 5 minutes ago, but I just thought I'd show you it working and me dangling around with the cameras, and hopefully a few more bits to do over the course of this weekend, even though I always say to myself I don't work weekends. I took one weekend off, and I think I've worked every weekend since. But I've had a couple of days off this week, so it's made up for it. But I'll do some more in the next couple of days. See you soon.